Okay, excuse the red lighting. We're in line at Taco Time. For those of you who don't live in the Pacific Northwest, probably don't know what Taco Time is. It's literally like Taco Bell, but I think better because
it's healthier.
Yeah, it's made more from scratch.
You got Taco Bell, and then Taco Time's just like...
maybe like a half notch above that. So we're in line at Taco Time in the drive-thru to get some food because we are on our way to our gender reveal event. I don't really want to call it a party because we're not inviting anybody. It's just our immediate family is going to be on Microsoft Teams because my dad set up a link for everybody to join us for the reveal. So we needed to get some food before heading on down to my friend's house. My friend lives in Olympia, so it's about like a 40-minute drive. So we're gonna get food. It's about 6 o'clock at night, and we'll eat on the way down. Oh, there he is. He thinks he's getting food. I'm not sure if he's going to be part of the reveal. I have no idea what my friend is planning on doing for the reveal. That's all a surprise. We shall see what happens. Whatever she's planning on doing. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be one of two things.
Boy or girl. He's team boy still. Because he's team boy, I'm going to be team girl because, you know, we can't be both.
No,
so.
I'm not team... Who said I'm team boy?
This whole time.
I just think it's going to be a boy. That's not what I want.
What do you want? You want a girl?
I want a healthy child.
Okay, that's not part of it. I'm going to stop talking and we will see you at the gender reveal and we'll all find out together. Come on, Yuma.
Come here.
Yuma, welcome to Beach Little Life. Okay, come here.
I mean, they're both stuck in it, but that much better.
Okay.
Oh, you gonna pop it?
See, can everybody see this?
Come on, Yuma. Break
No, pop. Get it, Yuma. Pop. Get it. He's gonna find it.
Get it. Get it.
Pop it. Get it, Yuma.
You suck.
You suck.
Good job.
It's a boy. Oh my god.
Pop that one too.
You just want to pop this one?
Yeah, there's stuff in it too.
Okay. Ah! It's a boy. Okay, you guys, most of you are right. It's a boy. Woo! It's a boy. You get a brother, you mom. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We got our wish. All right, you guys, it is a few days after the gender reveal. Oh my gosh, I am so thrilled it's a boy. Obviously, I didn't care one way or the other. I just want this baby to be healthy, of course, but I was secretly hoping for a boy. The reveal went really well. It was so much fun to see my whole family on Microsoft Teams. That's what my dad used to set up. And even my aunts and uncles on the East Coast joined, and the gender reveal didn't start until 7, and so it was 10 p.m. I think their time. So that was really special that my aunts and uncles watched the reveal, and then my sister who lives in Hawaii was actually 3 hours behind. She joined. So everybody from all over the country joined in. And as you guys know now, Josh has 6 younger brothers. They all joined in. So it was so great to have our immediate family all watching and finding out with us the gender. So, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm having a son. It's a little mind-blowing. But I wanted to kind of continue this video because we just got home from my 20-week ultrasound, which was the anatomy scan. And I really had no idea what the anatomy scan was. And for those of you who don't know, basically it's a very detailed ultrasound. And I haven't seen this baby since my 10-week ultrasound. And that one was like kind of blurry and I couldn't really see the baby very well because like my uterus is what they call retroverted. So instead of the uterus kind of going a little bit like out towards the belly, mine stands straight up, like aligning with the spine. And so with my 10-week ultrasound, my OB doctor had to push really hard on my abdomen to see the baby. And so, because 10 weeks, the baby's very small, just looked like a blob. I really needed this 20-week ultrasound to confirm in my mind that baby's there and baby's okay and healthy, and also to make sure it's a boy, because still, like, even though I got that information from my fertility clinic and they knew the gender of the embryo transferred in me, I still was like, what if they got it wrong? But yeah, we confirmed today that it is definitely a boy. We saw the penis, so that was the first thing I asked, like, can you just confirm the gender? Like, yep, it's a boy. But yeah, I really need this ultrasound because I haven't seen this baby for the last 10 weeks. Like I said, my last last ultrasound was just like a blurry blob, so I really couldn't see the baby at all. And oh my gosh, you guys, she put that ultrasound to my belly. I saw the baby and I was like instantly blown away. I mean, a lot happens from week 10 to week 20. The baby actually looks like a baby. It's ridiculous. Like, she imaged the head and the little fingers and the toes and the feet. I'll put images all up here in videos. It's really cool because the clinic I go to can like send the images to my phone and I can just like give them to whoever I want. During the anatomy scan, which is a very detailed ultrasound, the ultrasound tech measured every single part of the body. So every extremity, every arm, every leg, foot, hand, also measured the head size. And what was really cool is they could see the blood flow flowing through the heart. So they could measure the heart size and they could see the blood flowing through each chamber. I saw all 4 chambers of the heart. I saw the heart actually beating. So much detail I saw on this baby and it was just magical, you guys. So it lasted a while. It was about 40 to 45 minutes because the ultrasound tech did measure every single part of the baby. And at the end, she said, okay, your baby boy is measuring quite big. He's measuring in the 94th percentile. And I was like, yeah, she's like, there is no problem with this baby gaining weight. And I was like, great. Because Josh was an almost 10-pound baby. I was an 8-pound baby. So this made me a little bit nervous. But the other thing too is they might move up my due date because they said originally March 20th is my due date. But because of how big the baby's measuring and how far along my embryo was, so they transferred a 5-day blastocyst into me. It was a hatching blastocyst to be exact. And so because of that information and because of how big the baby's measuring, I think they're gonna move up my date to like March 14th. So between March 14th and March 20th, they're gonna give me an exact due date soon, but they're gonna kind of recalculate when my due date's gonna be. And that's very important information because this is an IVF baby. I'm at high risk. They don't want me going past my due date. So they actually want to define an exact due date for me. So we'll see. I don't think it's gonna be March 20th. I think it's gonna be earlier than that. That anatomy scan lasted about 40 minutes. And then after that, I met with a maternal fetal medicine doctor, basically a doctor who specializes in women who have like complicated health histories or something abnormal with the baby. She specializes in all maternal health, all fetal health. So I met with her. She said the ultrasound looks really good. Baby's measuring just fine, although he's big, but heart looks good. All the organs look good. So no concerns at all with baby. I do have something called mycosis fungoides. I don't really talk a lot about it here on YouTube. I've mentioned it a little bit on Instagram because I have mycosis fungoides and I have a history of melanoma because of those cancers. My OB doctor referred me to this maternal fetal medicine doctor just to make sure everything looks good. So everything does look good. My conditions are stable and I do go to a cancer doctor, as a lot of you guys know on Instagram that follow me know that I go to a cancer doctor regularly every 3 to 6 months to get skin checks. And if you guys want to know more information about mycosis fungoides, it's a very rare skin cancer. It's like a T-cell lymphoma that's very rare, but it's under control. It's been under control for years. So I can actually do a video on mycosis fungoides. A lot of people on Instagram actually have requested me to do an informational video on what we call MF for short, mycosis fungoides, because it is becoming more prevalent. It's very rare, but it is becoming more prevalent. So I can do a video on that in the future. But I thought this was very interesting what this doctor told me because this is an IVF baby. Number one, I'm at higher risk. Number two, the baby's at higher risk. And one of the reasons for this high risk pregnancy is because the way in which they made the embryo, or the embryologist made the embryo, was the embryologist actually injected the sperm into the egg and like made like a puncture. There is a term for that and I forget what it is. I can put it on the screen just in case you guys are interested in what the terminology is. But that's how most IVF babies are made, is actually injecting with the needle sperm into the egg. And research is showing that if an embryo is formed that way, then the baby is at higher risk for congenital heart defects down the road. And so because of that, I just have to go through some additional testing that probably most moms don't have to do. So one of the tests I have to do later on, I believe around week 30, is a fetal echocardiogram, where basically it's an ultrasound of the baby's heart. And even though they did that today, this is a more detailed ultrasound that they can do to just check like literally all the structures of the heart, how the blood is flowing through the heart, and just to make sure that there isn't any signs of heart defects. So that's in a few weeks from now. The other test this doctor recommended, which I think I'm gonna do down the road. Once I reach 36 weeks, it's called a fetal stress test. I think that's what it's called. Basically, they'll put 2 monitors on my belly. This is when I'm 36 weeks. And I believe what they do is they, one monitor gives a little bit of contractions to me, and then the other monitor is a fetal heart monitor, monitoring the baby's heart. And so they put the baby in a little bit of a stress mode to measure the heart and see how well the heart is functioning under stress. So they're gonna do the fetal stress test week 36 and every single week until I give birth, so week 40 if I go that long. It's an option, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it just to make sure, just to double check everything. I've gotten this far, I might as well do all the tests that they recommend. So yeah, please leave comments down below if you're a doctor, if you're pregnant with an IVF baby, or you have been pregnant with an IVF baby, if you had to do these additional tests. I kind of figured I would have to do more additional testing because of the IVF pregnancy, but I wasn't aware of those ones. So overall, looks good. Baby looks good. I look good. Everything is going along smoothly, and I am just feeling so blessed and so happy, and I'm able to believe this pregnancy more now. This really was a game changer for me today, seeing the baby and seeing proof that he's there. And throughout the whole ultrasound, he was doing somersaults and moving, and every time she would try to get an image of his face, he would like cover his face with his hands. I was like, oh, this baby's trouble already. And it is funny because after the ultrasound was done, she really had to like poke and prod my belly to measure everything on this baby because he was like rolling around and just moving the entire time. So I think that made him mad, because afterwards, when I was sitting talking with the physician, I felt like jabs, like punches in my lower abdomen for the first time. I have never felt that before. And so I was like, oh, now I feel him moving. He is mad. But by the way, feeling him move, I haven't really been feeling a whole lot. And now I know the reason why. Apparently my placenta is in front of the baby. So when he's moving around or punching, he's punching the placenta and not me. And so I'm like, okay, that makes sense, because I haven't felt fluttering yet. Sometimes can feel a little bit of like bubbling, like bubbles in my lower abdomen, or like something like feels like gas moving through. So I know that that's been the baby and nothing else, because what else would it be? But it's very subtle, and I can only notice it if I'm like completely still, and it's normally late at night and not doing anything. So that makes sense of how far along I am, and I really haven't been feeling much. Well, the placenta's in front of him. So as he's growing and getting bigger, I should be able to feel more. But those little pokes I was feeling in my stomach today after the ultrasound, that was the first time I felt that. So okay, I think that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for celebrating our gender reveal. Thank you for celebrating that we're having a boy. I'm over the moon excited. I'm also the overwhelming feelings are now like setting in, like, oh my gosh, this is happening and I'm not ready. I don't have anything. I don't know how to do a baby registry. I don't know how to do anything. I got to prepare for this baby now, and I'm like, shoot, I'm over halfway done with this pregnancy. So I'm gonna need your guys' help to figure out what I need, how to prepare. We are still house hunting, but that is a very slow process now given what the market is doing. So I'm assuming that we are bringing baby home here to our apartment, our 800 square foot apartment, and I've already made space for baby in our master bedroom. So those of you who follow on Instagram already know that. And so, I mean, newborns don't need their own room anyways, but it would be nice to be settled into a bigger space and have a nursery, but that's okay. The other thing I wanted to mention on here too, sorry, I'm like rambling. There's a lot to talk to you guys about. Those of you, again, who follow on Instagram, if you don't follow on Instagram, follow, because it's so much easier for me to get on my story and give you guys updates along the way. But I did story a few days ago how I was feeling so incredibly grateful because I started my IVF journey exactly a year ago. On Halloween night was my first IVF injection. It was my stim injection. And just to think about how much has happened in a year, and if you were to tell me a year ago I would be doing a gender reveal a year from now and being pregnant, and I would have laughed. I would have laughed in your face. I would have not believed you. And so do not give up on your journey. Do not give up on your dream of having kids, your own biological kids. Don't give up. You never know what life's gonna bring you. I totally wrote it off in my mind that I wasn't ever gonna have kids, that I'll just try IVF so I don't regret looking back on my life. But I know in my mind I was like, I know it's not gonna work, but I'll just give it a shot so that I don't have any regrets. Lo and behold, it worked. And yeah, I just still am over the moon, like shocked. Yeah, so it just goes to show you, don't give up, keep going. And please comment down below anything you want. Thanks again for all of your love and support. It means the world to me. All right, I will see you in the next video, and always remember to be kind to yourself.